Good morning and a happy Wednesday. Welcome to today's episode of Morning Wealth. We'll talk about three things: stimulus or no stimulus, the key for momentum, China's Caixin PMI, and Asia's biggest healthcare IPO. Stimulus or no stimulus, that may be the question on which forward momentum in the market hinges. A sharp rally in the US market lost some steam late in the session. Optimism prompted by a bipartisan relief proposal may have petered out a bit amid unsupportive comments from key senators. The partisan fight over Federal Reserve's own stimulus measures also continued as top officials testified in Congress. Nonetheless, US stocks started December by rising to record highs on Tuesday as a renewal of 8 talks added to optimism over the progress that we are seeing on the vaccine. The risk-on mode powered the S&P 500 and Nasdaq to all-time highs a day after posting double-digit gains last month. Tuesday's gains were broad, with 10 of the 11 sectors on the S&P 500 gaining ground. A wide range of stocks have powered the recent rally, meaning that major indexes have been less reliant on few high-flying companies to lift them higher. A broader participation is definitely a positive for the markets. On the treasury side, the 10-year yields were up 8 basis points to about 0.92. The Euro Stoxx 600 advanced about 0.7%. Surveys on manufacturing activity in many major European economies on Tuesday showed a broad continued expansion in the Eurozone. The MSCI All Country World Index also advanced about 1.2%. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index sank 0.7%. The Euro surged 1.2%, breaking the 1.20 barrier and settling in at about 1.2075. WTI crude was down 1.7% to 44.55 a barrel. Gold strengthened about 2.1% to hit about 1814 an ounce. In Asia, most major benchmarks rose by close of trading. The Shanghai Composite was higher 1.8%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng was also up by 1.9%, while Japan's Nikkei 225 was up 1.3%. A private gauge of manufacturing activity in China hit its highest level in a decade in November, signaling a strong recovery in the world's second largest economy. The consensus-beating surge in November's Caixin manufacturing PMI signals strong support for China's economy from external demand. The message is consistent with official PMIs, which pointed to strength in external demand. Also, encouragingly, the strong reading is another sign that conditions are looking up for smaller firms in line with the official small firm PMI. The Caixin manufacturing PMI, a small firm and export-oriented survey, rose to about 54.9 from 53.6 in October. That's the highest reading in 10 years. This bucked the consensus forecast of a decline to about 53.5 and was higher than most of the projections on the street. The rise is a clear indication of the strength in the economy. The Caixin indicators, better seasonally adjusted, means it is less affected by changes in the number of working days in October, where you had that lengthy golden week break. Both the production and the demand components rose sharply, which definitely paints a very good picture for Chinese manufacturing overall. Moving on to a corporate roundup. Asia's biggest healthcare IPO, JD Health, raised about 27 billion Hong Kong dollar after pricing its offering at the top end of the marketed range. Xiaomi is seeking to add about 4 billion to its war chest. China's number 2 smartphone maker is selling about 1 billion shares in a top-up placement to raise as much as 3.2 billion, Hong Kong's largest ever. Xiaomi is also seeking about 855 million through a 7-year zero-coupon convertible bond. On Salesforce numbers, guidance for fourth quarter revenue beat while adjusted EPS missed. The company boosted its full-year forecast for sales and profit. Third quarter revenue exceeded estimates and shares were down about 3.97% post-market. Shares of Zoom also dropped about 15%. The video conferencing company on Monday had signaled higher sales in the recent months, but that has come with higher costs, which has disappointed a lot of investors. Anyway, the bar is set so high for these companies that even a little bit of a slip up and you see these big moves that we have seen with Zoom. HP Enterprise reported quarterly revenue that topped estimates. It also said it's moving its headquarters to Houston from San Jose, California. Airbnb is offering about 51.9 million shares at about $44 to $50 each in its IPO, seeking to raise as much as $2.6 billion. Tesla jumped after the decision that it will be added to the S&P 500 all at once on December 21st. Exxon will write down the value of its North and South American natural gas fields by about $20 billion. That's the biggest ever impairment by the company. In fact, I think that will be the biggest ever impairment that has ever been done. Lastly, BlackBerry surged the most after signing a multi-year deal with Amazon Web Services to develop and market its intelligent vehicle data platform. That's interesting, the kind of pivot that BlackBerry is kind of doing. It was a flashback for me when we were used to carry those BlackBerry phones back in the day. That's the update. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.